Welcome everyone. Good evening. So welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Naveen, and today we'll be looking at the last session on MH CET 2025. So this is going to be the final revision of your exam that is soon going to happen. I hope you guys are prepared for it. You guys have practiced enough questions, and you guys, let's hope that you ace the exam. Okay, so today we'll be looking at a lot of number of questions, a lot of varieties. We'll also be looking at some of the DI sets. So basically overall revision. Okay, so let's begin with the first question of the day. Excuse me. Supriya's monthly income is twice Deepa's monthly income. The ratio of the monthly income of Deepa and Sandhya is 7:3. And their average monthly income is rupees 25,000. What is Supriya's monthly income? Okay, so there are going to be two ways to solve it. Okay, first of all, we know that Supriya's monthly income is twice Deepa's monthly income. Okay, and then the monthly income of Deepa and Sandhya, let's call Sandhya as Y. This is given as 7:3. And we are told that the average monthly income of Divya and Sandhya is 25,000. So from here, the sum of Divya and Sandhya's monthly income, it's going to be 50,000. Right? Now 50,000 needs to be divided in the ratio 7:3. So basically, this is going to be 7 into 5, 35,000 for Divya. Right? Let's not calculate for Sandhya, that's not required. If we know that Divya, it's going to be 35,000. So that of Supriya, it's going to be 70,000. So this is going to be 7 into 5, and then it's going to be 35. Okay, so it is 70,000, right? So once we get to know the Deepa's monthly income, we can calculate this. Now, another way to solve this is going by the options, right? Now, if we pick Supriya's monthly income to be 35,000, now the problem is Supriya's monthly income is 35,000. So Deepa's monthly income, it's going to be a difficult calculation, right? So we should check this option later. Let's pick the B option. So if Supriya's monthly income is 70,000, so Deepa's monthly income is going to be half of that. That is 35,000. Now, if Deepa's monthly income is 35,000, then Sandhya's monthly income, it's going to be, this has to be in the ratio 7:3. So 7 into 5, 35, 3 into 5, 15,000. So the average of 35 and 15 is 25, right? The value that lies between 35 and 15, which completely matches with whatever is given. So you can see that using options, it was relatively faster. Also because the option was the answer, so of course it was that. Let's look at the second question now. The respective ratio between the angles of a quadrilateral is 1:2, 3:4. What is the sum of the twice the smallest angle and half the largest angle together? So smallest angle is 1. So twice the smallest angle, so 2 into 1, plus half the largest angle. So largest angle is going to be 4. So half of largest. So this is 2 plus 2, which is going to be 4, right? Now, if you look at the options, you can solve it using the options, or we can solve it from the, the ratio and the thing that sum of all the interior angles of a polynomial or a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. We can start from there as well, right? So we need to see that this is going to be 1A and 4A. So this is going to be 4A. Right? 2A plus 2A, 4A. So our target is to find out what is A. So from here, the sum of all the angles, that is A plus 2A plus 3A plus 4A, which is 10A, this is 360 degrees. Sum of all the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So A is going to be 36 degrees. So if we put it back here, this is going to be 4 into 36, which is going to be 144 degrees. The option. We could have started from the options. If 4A is 180, then A is going to be 45. If A is 45, what would be the angles? Will they add up to give us 360 degrees or not? Right? We could have checked through the options as well. Next, the population of the town is 1,89,000. It decreases by 8% in the first year and increases by 5% in the second year. What is the population of the town at the end of 2 years? So 1,89,000, it increases by 8% in the first year. Sorry, it decreases by 8% in the first year. So this is going to be 0.92 and increases by 5% in the next year. So into 1.05. So this will be the population later on. Now, it's not going to be easy to multiply 189 by 92 and then by 105, right? So there are two ways to solve this now. One, using divisibility rule. Another, using successive percentage change logic. Let's use divisibility rule. Well, 92 is a number which is in the table of 23. 189 is a number which is in the table of 9. 105 is a number which is in the table of 7. So that means my final answers should be in the table of 9 and 7 and 23, all three, right? Let's check for 9 because that's the easiest one. So if we look at 193,914, it is in the table of 9. Next, if we look at 185,472, it's in the table of 9. If we look at 182,574, this is also in the table of 9. If you look at 191,394, this is also in the table of 9. So all the values are in the table of 9. Now let's check in the table of 7. So 193, so that is 14, 49, 49, 14. This is in the table of 7. Next, this is 14, 35. This is not in the table of 7. 14, 42, 56. This is in the table of 7. And this one, it's going to be 191, 394. So that is 14, 49, 21, 28, 14. This is also in the table of 7. Right? Now we have to check which out of these options is in the table of 23. Now, table of 23, it's not going to be that easy. Right? So from here, we will straight away not jump to successive percentage change. Decreases by 8%, increases by 5%. So minus 8 plus 5 plus minus 8 into 5, 100. So if we calculate this, the effective percentage change is going to be minus 3 minus 0.4%. So this is going to be minus 3.4%, which means if our initial population was this much, it should decrease by 3.4%, which means our final answer should be less than 189,000. 189,000 is a chota number. Out of the B and C, it's only C. Right? Which is also in the table of 9 as well as 7. It's neither A, it's not D. So without reducing it by 8% and then increasing by 5% or calculating 3.4% of 189, all of those are going to be difficult calculations. So a bit of common sense, a bit of fear or hating calculation will help you come up with easier logical approaches, right? Another one. The owner of a cell phone shop charges his customer 23% more than the cost price. If a customer paid rupees 7,011 for a cell phone, then what was the cost price of the cell phone? So cost price of the cell phone, if it, let's say C, then it becomes C into 1.23, 23% more, the multiplying factor is 1.23. This becomes 7,011. So this should be 7,011 divided by 1.23. So it's not going to be easy to calculate 23% of any of the values, right? So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see that 123 is in the table of 3 and 7,011, 71. So that's 63 and 81. So I think it will be better if we divide and check the first two digits, because the first two digits, these are unique. So basically, यही calculate करना है. So I'll put two more zeros and take 123. Now 123 into 6, it's going to be more than 700, right? We need 701. So it should be 5. So it can't be B or D as the answer. So this is going to be 120 into 5 is basically 600. 3 into 5 is 15. So this is 615. So if we subtract, we will be getting 861. Now 123 into 8 or 123 into 9, which one it's going to give us 6740, 5845 or 5900. So I think there is one silly mistake, because it won't go 9 times, but it will go 7 times. 123 into 7 is 861. So 5700. Right? So C, not 59, but it's 5700. Okay. Next. A and B are two alloys of gold and copper prepared by mixing metals in the ratio 7:2 and 7:11 respectively. If equal quantities of the alloys are melted to form a third alloy C, the ratio of gold and copper in C will be, well, gold is 7 here and 7 again. And when we mix them, my final answer will be a 7. So C ho jayega answer, without even looking at whether they were equal quantities or not. If we have to solve this properly, so A has got gold and copper, and we are told that equal quantities are required. So 7 plus 2 is 9, 7 plus 11 is 18. So let's double it. We are saying gold in A is 14 and copper is 4. In B, it is 7 and 11 is copper. So when we mix them, total gold is going to be 21, total copper is going to be 15. 21 by 15 is 7:5. So this is what I was talking about. If gold is a multiple of 7 already, when we add something which is again a multiple of 7, so my final answer should be a multiple of 7. That was valid only in C option. Right? So we do not have to always calculate each and every part of it. हर छोटे छोटे कैलकुलेशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Next, in a mixture of 180 liters, the ratio of milk and water is 2:1. So 180 liters milk and water 2 and 1, which means 120 liters is milk, 60 liters is water. If the ratio of milk and water is to be 1:2, then how much of water is added? So we are supposed to add water such that milk and water, it becomes 1:2. So if milk is 120, water should be 240 liters. From 60 liters, how much should we add? So that becomes 240. So we are supposed to add 180 liters. Right? So this is the speed that is required in order to solve questions in MH CET. So what we are supposed to do is we read whatever we have, we read, okay, we read a first statement, and then we figure out whatever is understood. Then we read the next statement, solve accordingly. If we read the entire question once, of course, I have spent some time reading it. I will try to understand where is it from, which is a very good approach when it comes to other MBA exams. But MH CET में उतना time होता नहीं है. कि आप एक बार पढ़े, समझने की कोशिश करी, फिर दोबारा पढ़ रहे हो, फिर एक एक करके स्टेटमेंट पढ़ रहे हो, राइट? रीडिंग टेक्स टाइम, इट eats up. So let's not do that. Next is A and B started a partnership by investing some amount of money in the ratio of 1:2. Chandra joined them after 7 months with an amount equal to 2/3 the amount invested by Amar and Bhuvan together. If the profit at the end of the year was 11500, then the profit share of Chandra at the end of 1 year is. Since we're talking about at the end of 1 year, this is another way of saying 12 months. So if you look at Amar, Bhuvan, and Chandra, Amar invested 1 rupee, Bhuvan invested 2 rupees. So this is the investment. And duration is Amar invested for 12 months, Bhuvan invested for 12 months. Chandra joined after 7 months, which means he invested only for 5 months. And how much amount did he invest? 2/3 the amount. This is 3. So 2/3. The profit is going to be shared in the ratio of 12:24:10, which can be simplified as 6:12:5. If we add this is nothing but 23. But we are told 11500. This is basically 500 times. Since we are asked to find out profit of Chandra, so this is going to be 500 times 2500. Right? So basically, since this was a question on ratios, partnership is all about ratios. So what we do is we deal with the assumed values, the sample values, see what is happening so that we deal with smaller calculations, smaller values, and later on compare it with the actual given. देखते हैं कितना बड़ा करना है उसे. So the times we have to, extrapolate it is the same time everything will get extrapolated. Another one. S and N invested rupees 80,000 each and started a business. After 1 year, Shreya invested an additional amount of 20,000 and Neelam withdraws 30,000. At the end of 2 years, they earned a profit of 93,000. What will be the Neelam's share in the profit? So देखो Shreya और Neelam की बात करें तो instead of saying 80, 20, 30, let's take 8, as in let's ignore the 3 zeros throughout. So Shreya invested 80 rupees for 1 year. Neelam did the same. Then Shreya invested additional amount of 20, that's 100 for the next year. And Neelam invested 30 less, so that's 50 into 12. So this is 180 into 12, while this is 130 into 12. This is the ratio in which profit should be shared. The common values, we can take care of that. And this results in the ratio of 18:30. Now, if you look at this, 18 plus 13, this is 31. We are told 93, so this is 3 times. So, which means we have to extrapolate it and say कि ये भी 3 times हो जाएगा और ये भी 3 times हो जाएगा. Since we are asked about Neelam's profit, so Neelam's profit will become 13 into 3, which is 39. Option A. Right? Okay. A trader buys 40 mirrors for rupees 6,000 and wants to sell them by making a profit of rupees 45 per mirror. So 45 is not the selling price, but it's a profit. What would be his overall gain percent if he sells 80% of the mirrors and the rest gets destroyed? So what is the cost price of one mirror? So it's going to be 6,000 divided by 40, right? So this is going to be 150 rupees. Now this 150 rupees, he wants to sell it at by gaining 45 at 195, right? So this is a profit percentage of 30%. And out of 100 mirrors, 80 mirrors are only sold and 20% are destroyed. So this was because of the price. Now, because of the quantity, he loses, right? So he was supposed to sell 100, but he ends up selling 80. So that's 80 by 100, or we can say 20% ka loss. So 30% profit and 20% loss. Successive is what they are asking, right? Because price and quantity, they get multiplied. So that's successive. So we will have 30 plus minus 20 plus 30 into minus 20 out of 100. If you solve this, we will be getting 4. Or we could have used multiplying factor 1.3 into 0 0.8. 13 into 8 is 90. Hold on. No, 104, not 90. So 1.04 and 1.04 would mean 4%. Right? So either multiplying factor or use A plus B plus AB by 100 successive percentage change of formula. Next, in a sale, a perfume is available at a discount of 15% on the selling price. If the perfume is discounted, selling price is now rupees this. What was the original selling price of the perfume? So basically, we are told that which of these options into 0.85 will result in 3675.40, right? So 14 and 10. Okay. So shall we divide it? See, we need to reach up to 3,700 approx. And we need a 15% discount, 15% less. Now 4,400's 10% is 440 and 5% will be 220. So it will not give us an answer which is going to be in point. So seek a sense to neighbor. Now, if we take a value which is 4,300, so 4,300 ka 10% ka reduction, this is 430 ka reduction, and 5% ka reduction is 215 ka reduction. This is not successive. This is basically saying 15% ka reduction. It's same as going to be 645 ka reduction. So if I reduce 4,300 by 645, I will be at 3,655. So at 4,300, I'm at 3,655. मेरे को इससे थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा चाहिए, right? Which means my original value should be a little more than 4,300. So 4,324. Because 4,386 is closer to 4,400. And 4,400 ka 15% will not take us to 3,700. Okay. 3,700 he just won't check. It won't take us to 3,675. So option A. Oh, DI. The pie chart given below shows the percentage distribution of expenditure on funds by a university for various purposes. So the total expenditure that we see is 60 lakhs. Medical facility for students contribute 7%, research work 8%, psychology, lab 12%, computer 18%, sports 12%, purchase of books for library 6%, publication of journals 15%, and purchase of overhead projectors for PhD classes 24%, right? Now, the question says, if the expenditure on purchase of overhead projections for PhD students is decreased by 7%, what will be the expenditure on the same after decrease? So we are told that if this 24% of 60 lakhs, if this decreases by 7%, what value will we get? Right? So 24 into 6, 24 into 3 is 72. So this is going to be 14.4 lakhs. Right? Now we need to decrease it by 7%. Now 14.4 lakh, if we decrease it by 10%, will be around 13 lakhs. Right? If it is 7%, it should be a little over 13 lakhs. Now the thing is, this is 1.33 lakhs. This is 13.39 lakhs. So only B will make sense. Right? So what I did was 14.4 lakh. If I decrease it by 10%, we are rather decreasing it by 1.44 lakh. 14.4 minus 1.4 is going to be approx 13 lakhs. A little less than 13. So 7% उससे ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, right? Because we're not decreasing 10%, we are decreasing only 7%. Lesser percentage decrease is happening. So only B will make sense. What is the difference between the expenditure made by the university on publication of journals, which is this, and psychology laboratory, and this one? So the difference is nothing but 5% of that 60 lakh. 10% is 6 lakh, 5% is going to be 3 lakhs. So should we expect such type of sets in the exam? Yes, definitely. Okay, another. The bar graph given below shows the number of students in thousands studying in various colleges from various faculties. So number of students, those are Y colleges, those are X. Basically, there are 4 such colleges, and the streams or the faculties are arts, science, and commerce. So we can say that arts is the highest in 2 colleges, while commerce is the highest in one of the colleges, and science is highest in the last one. Right? Values are given there so that we do not have to look at the values on the y-axis graph and figure out what that is. So they have given us the exact value. First question: what is the total number of students studying in all the colleges together? So we are supposed to add all of that, right? So this is supposed to be in lakhs. So options are a little close if you look at A and B, right? So we have to be careful. So 51 plus 40 plus 36 plus 0.2 plus 0.5. So 0.2 plus 0.5, if we basically add these two, we will be getting something 0.7, as in something 700. And if you look at all the other values, they do not have a point. So that 700 will stay. If 700 stays, there is only one option, that is 700. Right? Saved so much of time just by paying attention to the decimal values. Next one, what is the difference between the total number of students studying in college H and those studying in college K? What is the difference? So instead of actually adding and figuring out the difference, so if you look at arts, college H is higher. How much higher? It's 21.2 more. If you look at science, college K is higher. How much higher? 16. If you look at commerce, in commerce, college H is higher. How much higher? It's 11.5. So basically, if we add these and subtract these, so this is going to be, again, 32.7 minus 16 will result in some 700s. Again, we have only one option, which is D. Right? So you play a little smart and you get smart approaches. Another one. In the following bar graph, number of shirts and trousers manufactured by 5 different companies, M, N, O, P, and Q, has been given. So these are number of shirts and trousers. So basically together. The ratio of shirts and trousers has been given in the adjoining table. So companies का shirts and trousers का ratio है. These are not the actual values but ratios. Right? Let's look at the first question. The number of shirts manufactured by company Q is what percent of its total production? Well, the number of shirts manufactured is 8 out of a total of 25. Right? So 8 out of 25, this is going to be 4 times if I do. This is 32 by 100, which is literally 32%. Now the question arises, why not 1600? Well, if I take 1600, it's going to be a part of both the numerator and denominator, and it's going to be multiplied. So basically, like saying, if you are multiplying the same number in both numerator and denominator, it won't change its value. So that 1600 was completely irrelevant. What is the total number of trousers manufactured by companies N and P together? So we are talking about trousers by N and P, right? So if we look at N, this is going to be 19 out of 24 plus 19, which is 43 of 1720, right? And if you look at P, this is going to be 5 out of 8 of 1120. So we need to solve this and then add. There is nothing common except for 20 that we can take out common. So 20 multiples are values. So we'll have to solve this. So 43 into 4 is 172. So this is 19 into 4. So that is going to be 38 and then 76. So 760. Now 8 into 4. So 14 into 8 is 112. So this is 140 into 5. That's 700. 700 plus 760 is 1460. See. Okay, another one. A certain sum of money has to be distributed among 43 people. According to the cashier, each person will get rupees 221 and rupees 83 will be left. So the money that we have is when distributed among 43 people, each one gets 221 and 83 is left. Now, they're saying that the same sum of money, if 2 more people join the group, as in now if you are going to have 45 people, then each person should get 220. How much more shall we add? Let's say this is X, right? So that X is going to be 45 into 220. This is going to be, let's gamble. Let's look at the last digit. So this is going to be a number that will end in 50. Last 2 digit letter. Minus 43 into 221 or 43 into 21. This is going to end in 03. 03 plus 83 is a number that is going to end in 86. Now 50 minus 86 will not give us the answer. So this is basically 150 minus 86, right? So 150 minus 86. Acha nahi, this is not 50. This is 00. So 5 into 2 is 0. It's a 10, that means 0, and we have a 0. So this is basically 100 minus 86. It will be a number that will end in 14. So you can see that we were supposed to get answers in thousands, and then we have to subtract to get to hundreds because options say so. So rather than doing the entire calculation, only look at the last 2 digits. So 43 into 21 plus 83, 5 into 20. You can take 45 into 20, it won't change the answer. So when you have a 5 and an even number, it always ends in a 0, right? Another. The average age of 7 boys sitting in a row facing north is 26 years. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The average age is 26 years. Now, if the average age of first 4 boys is 29 years, and the average age of the last 4 boys is 32 years, what is the average age of the boy? Sorry, what is the age of the boy sitting in the middle of the row? So this is basically saying that if I take the boys as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we can say that A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G. This is going to be 26 into, since there are 7 of them. Now, the sum of the ages of the first 4, it's going to be 29 into 4. Now, sum of the ages of the last 4, this is going to be 32 into 4. So if we basically add these two, I will get entire thing from A to G, but D will be counted twice. So that D is extra that I'm going to have, right? Which is going to give me 29 into 4 plus 32 into 4. While this is nothing but 26 into 7. I know it's not very difficult calculation, right? But if I look at the last digits of every option, it's unique. So nahi karna calculation. This is going to be 9 into 4 that ends in 6 plus 2 into 4 that ends in 8 minus 6 into 7 that ends in 2. So 14 minus 2, that's a number that will end in 2 again, right? D. Looking at the last digit itself is good enough. We should not calculate everything. Save ourselves of some time. The thing is, MH CET is all about speed and accuracy, right? If the question or if the options are wrong, anyways, attempt it and move ahead, right? The number 225 is divided into 3 parts, A, B, and C, such that this, they are equal. Which among the following has an integer value? So from here, we can see it can be written as 3 by 2 times A is equal to 3 by 1 times B, which can be written as, instead of 3 by 1, let's write this as 6 by 2, which can be written as 2 by 2C. Or 3A is equal to 6B is equal to 2C, right? So if my first step had been just the fraction conversion, it would have been difficult. Now, from here, A is going to be 6 into 2, 12. B is going to be 3 into 2, 6. And C is going to be 3 into 6, 18. So basically, A, B, and C, they are in the ratio of 2 is to 1 is to 3. Now, 2 is to 1 is to 3. This comes from 225, right? So I'm saying 6K is 225, right? So K is going to be 225 by 6. If I divide it by 3, it's going to be 75 by 2. If K is 75 by 2, 2K is going to be an integer. K is not going to be an integer. 3K is not going to be an integer. So only 2K. Only 2K means only A is going to be an integer, right? But we are asked, since A is an integer plus a fraction will not give an integer. So wherever A exists, it won't give us an integer, right? C minus, it should not be D, it's a typo. I think it should be B. So C minus B is going to be an integer, right? C minus B is 2K. 2K is an integer. A plus B was 3K, can't be an integer. A minus B is K, not an integer. C plus A is 5K, not an integer. आप ऐसे भी देख सकते हैं. Another one. A and B started a business with an investment of rupees 2,800 and 5,400 respectively. After 4 months, C joined with rupees 4,800. If the difference between C share and A share in the annual profit, annual means 12 months again, kahin na kahin to hidden hoga. Year at the end of the year, annual, right? Was rupees 400. What was the total annual profit? So I'm going to ignore these zeros as of now. I can also ignore the twos as of now. So if I look at A invested 14 for 12 months, B invested 27 for 12 months, and C invested after 4 months, C joined. So C invested 24 per, excuse me, only 8 months. This is the ratio in which profits should be shared. Now, they all are going to be in the table of 24. 24, no, 2, 12 ke table mein. So 12 into 2, 12. What else? Nothing more. So this is 14 is to 27 is to 16. Now, we are told that the difference is 400, right? Abhi dekhte hain kitna difference hai. 14 and 16 ka difference is 2. But we are told 400, so that's 200 times. So what was the total annual profit? Total annual profit is going to be 14 plus 27 plus 16, which is 57. 57 into 200. 57 ka double 114 hota hai. This should be good enough to see where it is. Right. So C becomes our answer. So if you guys are watching this right now, or if you guys are watching this after the live session was over, I would like to, wish all of you, each one of you, very good luck for your MH CET exam. I hope we were, able to help you with your preparation or help you with new types of questions, new approaches, new methods, how to quickly do calculations, or maybe some concepts. That's what we wanted. If you guys have any query, please feel free to ask. If not now, let us know in the comment section later. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again. Best wishes for your exam. I really wish and I really hope you guys do well and ace your exam. Okay. Do not panic. Solve as many questions with as much accuracy as possible and leave all to God. Okay. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.